Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. The fees that you pay associated with your investments matter, and they matter a lot. They can make a big difference to your financial health in the long run. Before you put money into any investment, it's vital to uncover the real costs. They typically include these 6 types of fees. Number 1 is an upfront commission earned by the salesperson or their firm. Don't rely on vague assurances or a verbal answer. Get a specific number in writing as to what the upfront commission and fees are. If you have trouble getting a number, try asking this. If I buy this investment today and I want to get out tomorrow, how much do I get back? If the answer is not all your money, the difference is probably the upfront fees and commissions. I don't recommend purchasing financial products with significant upfront commissions or costs. I've actually seen investments where these fees run as high as 30% of the money invested. If you were to earn 5% a year on what's in the investment, and for a balanced portfolio, it's a reasonable going forward projection. It doesn't matter if you have $10,000 or $100 million. 5% is a reasonable expectation. It's going to take 8 years just to break even. Number 2, ongoing advisory fees. These are monthly, quarterly, or annual fees that you pay advisors for their investment advice and oversight. This includes working with you to pick the asset classes, helping you set the diversification, selecting the managers, tax optimization, rebalancing, and other periodic tasks. Now, this fee can have a lot of different names, including wrap fee or investment advisory fee. The normal rule of thumb is 1% of the assets the advisor is managing, although fees can range from 0 to 7%. So this is a fee that can be charged to you even if the advisor receives an upfront commission, and even if they promise that you're not paying any fees. It can be easy to see, or it can be hidden far away in the fine print of the investment. Third, additional fees for services. Find out specifically what services are included in the advisory fee. Additional fees for financial planning or ancillary services are rarely disclosed or discussed. Services can range from minimal hand-holding just focused on your investments to comprehensive holistic financial planning. Amazingly, there is no correlation between price and the breadth of services. That's illogical, but the financial services industry gets away with this in part because consumers didn't do their homework. Number 4, ongoing fees charged by the managers of the specific funds or investment products. These fees are referred to as the fund's expense ratio when you're in a mutual fund. This comes out of the profits generated by the manager and is probably one of the hardest fees to find. Only the most transparent advisor or salesperson is going to disclose it to you. It's incredibly well hidden. You'll never see it in your brokerage statements or your advisor's invoices. When it comes to annuity, I recently inquired of a salesman what the annual annuity fees were, or the ongoing expenses, and the answer was it's proprietary. The only way to know the amount of this fee is to read the prospectus or some other third-party analysis of the investment, say like Morningstar. Now, these fees can vary greatly for the same exact investment. That's depending on the class of share that you're sold. For example, American Fund's New Perspective Fund's expense ratio ranges from 0.45% to 1.54%. It's about a little over a percent difference. The average expense ratio of a mutual fund that invests in stocks is 1.35%. Conversely, the average expense ratio of a Vanguard S&P 500 fund is about 0.1%. The difference of 1.35% is staggering over time in the wealth that you lose. Number 5 are just miscellaneous fees, and these are also rarely talked about, hard to find. Many advisors charge $50 to $100 a year per account, hundreds of dollars to open or close an account, even fees to dollar cost average. Your funds into the market can go as high as 2%. Finally, transaction fees. Every time you buy or sell a fund, a fee is typically paid to a custodian in some form or fashion. These can range from $5 a transaction to a percent of what you buy or sell that can amount to hundreds of dollars per transaction. Sometimes these are called NTF or non-transaction fee funds. That doesn't mean you're not paying anything. Remember, it's your job to persist until you find out the total cost of an investment. In my next video, I'll suggest ways to ask the tough questions about fees. Thanks for listening.